Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Uti Elu and I'm joined on set today by the beautiful NJ and the radiant Glory. How's everybody doing this evening?
We're good.
That good sounds like a Nigerian good.
Yeah, come on, we have to be honest. It's a Nigerian good.
It's a Nigerian good right now.
I can't be here and be doing American good. But
how's your day been?
So. It's been I would say stressful but very productive day. Yeah.
Okay. How have you been, Glory? This is our first time on set this year.
Wow,
Even last year.
How was the first time? We're together last year.
I'm not talking to you.
I've not been the best of shape physically, so I've just literally been pushing myself to be up and doing. But today is better off. I don't know if it's about the physical or the mental. I think it's just a combination of different things happening. I've just been in my thoughts a lot lately, and that's just what I'll say,
I think at some point we are all in our thoughts right now because you're not sure what quite hits you.
There's a lot
that's going to take you down the rabbit hole. It's overwhelming at the moment. You just have to deliberately sort of remove yourself from the situation because every time you hear something, you're like, what next? What next? What next?
It's almost like nothing can surprise
I
you
know,
anymore.
right? And it's funny, it's not just even, I think what is overwhelming for me is it's not even just Nigeria. It's the whole world. You turn on the news now and you're not quite sure what you're going to see, what you're going to hear. It's just, wow. We thought, COVID times when we were all banding on certain times, like we're in a whole new territory. But at least we're here, we're healthy, we're alive, so that's certainly something to be thankful for. So here's what we found as today's quotes. I don't want to be an alarmist, but I've always theorized that there is a significant level of heat wave in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, which could lead to dire or worsen public health issues. So this comment is from, I believe, a Twitter or an X user. The heat at the moment is unreal.
Tell me about it. Sometimes it just feels like we were having a conversation while waiting, and I was asking her, like, how do people survive? There's so many things with the current weather situation and global warming and everything. You're wondering how people survive. And when I say people survive, in terms of hair, so we're talking about hair, and I was like, wig right now.
You cannot
It's a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of work. And why? Because of the heat. There's nothing like, being able to get some air into your brain, especially with the, like I said, with the current situation.
Yep.
A lot of things are happening with the weather and a lot of things are happening in life.
yes,
So having that much heat packed up,
You're just angry.
Do you understand? And every time you start seeing, it has been there for years. The tap.
Oh yes.
Yes,
we know it.
The tap.
We know it.
So now you start seeing people viciously. It's no longer a tap. It's like a beat. Like you're constantly. So it's so much heat, and people ask me, why did you cut your hair? And I'm like, wait. If I ask 9 out of every 10 girls I ask to take off their wigs, they have woven hair, probably long because it's been woven for a long time.
Yeah.
They've probably been wearing wigs for a long time. So it will probably be long. And I'm like, for me, it doesn't make sense that you have long hair. Why people will probably braid it, as in, what we'll call cornrows and everything, like single one and everything. But we would, weave it and then wear. So the air is quite choked all up in there. But for me, right now, the way I feel, I can get home and decide, what? I've had a long day. I'm just going to wash down like all the way. And right after that, I can say, I'm jumping into the pool without having to think about doing anything. But it's very difficult for a lot of people. And that's part of what, we're going to be looking at tonight. But that was just one of the conditions that we have to consider during this,
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
I know.
When I sat in the chair this past weekend to do my hair, because I'd had my hair cornrowed, like you said, wigs the week before. And she said, what do you want to do, ma? And I said, I don't know, but whatever it is, it's me and my hair that's living. Like, literally, nothing is going on my head. Because this hair, like you said, if I get home today and I'm tired, we go put water on it, and by morning, it will be dry. So I think that is difficult. As the wig wearer in our midst, how are you coping?
It's not, like, literally today, I had no wigs on. Like, I had no wig on. So I just had this in my bag because, like you said, the heat is something else. But sometimes with beauty comes discomfort that you just have to just have to bear it, just to, feel that, to feel fly and feel good. So that's just it. It's really been so hot, and the very painful part about it is, I don't know about your area, but in my area, like, even with electricity, it's been fluctuating. So even with AC, sometimes my AC is not really cooling.
No, the combo now is AC and fan.
Like, it's so like, even to sleep at night sometimes it's a challenge. It's a horrible situation, really.
Well,
it's very disorienting.
Let's see what we'll learn in today's show. So, in Lagos State and other parts of Nigeria, a lot of Nigerians are complaining that the weather has not just been dry, but unbelievably hot. With the temperature soaring and the sun beating down relentlessly, many of us are left wondering about the underlying causes of this intense heat wave and how best to survive the situation. So today, our guest, Dr. Frederick Unubukai, is here to discuss sustainable health practices for the weather condition. And when we open our phone lines, we'll love to hear what you have to say. But first, let's take a break for what we found in the news. Please stay with us. So National No Smoking Day is celebrated on March 13th, and this day aims to bring awareness on the dangers of this addiction. The day also tries to spotlight resources that are available to help people decide to try and quit smoking, while trying to offer encouragement and support in a useful and non-judgmental way. When I saw this today, I was trying to remember if I still know anybody that smokes. Yeah, I don't think, I'm trying to, I struggled off the top of my head to remember anybody that smokes.
I feel like I'm struggling to remember people that don't smoke around me. Like, it's almost like everyone is now smoking. Even today, I was talking about it with someone. He was like, maybe you should try weed. I'm like, nah, it's not. I mean, we've had a doctor on the show that said weed is maybe it's okay. I don't even want to try it. I don't want to try it. So I can't really count how many people are not smoking currently. Maybe it's my like say era or something. Maybe that's just it. But a lot of people now, like, there's just something like, maybe it's Lagos. There's just something about smoking and young people. Like, everyone is smoking. Maybe not frequent smokers, but occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, it must be old.
When the older you get, the more health conscious you become.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
This is
so
true.
when you didn't used to do your regular checkup, you start doing your regular checkup. So while you're doing your regular checkup, you get advice on some of these things. So a lot of people change their habits as they grow older.
Get older, right?
But with the age and with the times comes a lot of people wanting to be seen as part of a group. So whether for recognition or for what have you, that's why that is happening. I don't think the same thing, but well, you never know. Let me put it this way, you just stay away from, even if you've ever encountered it in your life, like I said, as you grow older, there are a lot of things you start to drop for different reasons. There's the oral hygiene and everything, and personal hygiene to it. So yes, the fact that it's also good that there's some awareness brought to it. Can you say for everyone in the world not to smoke today?
That would be tough. It took me a minute to process what you just said. I was like, not smoke? I'm
It'll
not
be hard.
sure. It'd be
I just
hard.
think for like
Yeah.
millennials and maybe Gen Zs, there's just this sort of pride attached to it. It's just a thing.
It's a lifestyle
It's
thing.
a lifestyle
Well, I guess
thing, like
teenagers as well. I guess they get into that
making
space.
videos, like smoking
Yeah.
videos, blowing it
I
in
saw
the
one
air.
recently that really took me, you know, there's some things, you know, growing up, there's some things you do, you say, ha, bad girl. But there's some things I see now,
No.
I'm like, whoa. I don't know if I should call you bad because this is beyond bad.
It's
this
beyond.
is like almost like witchcraft.
You know how
If
we've
I
gone.
can, you know, I saw a video of a lady. She had the baby right in front
Yeah,
of her,
I did.
and
Oh,
I think
yeah.
she was smoking shisha, and then she would
blowing
take
it
and
in
then
the face
blew
of the child.
I don't
And-
get
I was stunned for a few seconds, and I was like,
Yeah.
and that's not the problem. You filmed it yourself
Yeah, I'm not.
and posted
It's
it
the price,
yourself.
like
But,
there's just so-
but we've talked about many times about how the people that are having kids these days really shouldn't be having kids. But yeah, it's sad. What did you find for us in the news?
Well, let me. Oh wait, my phone is misbehaving. 1 second.
That's
Technology
fine. Take your
at its
time.
best.
All right, let me
your
take
time.
my own story whilst you're trying to find yours. So mine is a bit of on a lighter note. So I have the headline that says, 26-year-old Nigerian without engineering certification invents water-powered generator. Now, this for me just stood out. It says a 26-year-old Nigerian man, Emeka Nelson, built a generator that operates mainly on water. He invented the water-powered generator without any formal qualifications. The generator has a maximum capacity of 1,000 watts and voltage ranging between 220 and 240, and he's disclosed that this has powered his 2-bedroom apartment in Oka, Anambra State. It says only a liter of clean water can power the generator and supply energy for 6 hours. He's found his way all the way to the BBC, on BBC Africa, where he gave this interview. I think it's just, you know, every time when we talk about Nigeria, we always talk about the negative. So whenever I see stories like this, and given the context of the cost of petrol today, diesel, you know, it just stood out for me. I'm like, how much is a bottle of water? A liter of water to power your house for 6 hours. I mean, if you can find the right investors, let's just hope that the conspiracy theorists and the other industries will not try and pull him down. But it just seems like he could do so much with it. So well done to him. You found your story?
Yes, I have. So my story is a video I would like to share. Short video. We'll just take a clip of it.
Okay.
I don't know if that video can go up. Then I will explain the video. I think it's better we watch it.
Better seen. All
Yes.
right.
I'm back on these issues and coming up with issues of the budget and individual issues concerning what came to our various constituencies. If we want to go into those issues, all of us are culpable. Some senators here, so-called senior senators, got 500 million each. I am a ranking senator, I didn't get. Did I go to the press? Most of you got. And yes, if we want to go into those issues, excuse me, if we want to go into those issues, yes. So I think that Senator Ningi,
So,
Wow.
this is a video that has been making the rounds on social media. And there you have in Brown Native, Senator Jaribe. I hope I got that right. And, you know, this was after the accusation that was made accusing Senator Ningi of padding the budget and not being able to explain some part of the budget that Nigerians were eagerly waiting to hear what had happened and why that part of the budget was not included in the general budget that was approved. So, and you can clearly hear the senator making a revelation.
Real revelation.
Real revelation. And he said, some so-called senior senators here got 500 million naira each from the 2024 budget. I am a ranking senator. I didn't get anything. So in his opinion, no senator has the right or a right to accuse Senator Ningi. Let's ponder on that for a
I've
bit.
just paused. I'm processing. It was the fact that he said he didn't get any, like almost like, you know.
So I don't know whether it's coming from a place of, you know, when you're at the table and you don't get a cut,
Yeah, that's
and
what
you
it is.
know you know what the other people are going on. You're like, see, we're all going
We'll
down.
scatter this out together.
It seems like a case of we're all going down.
Yeah.
If I'm not getting, nobody's
getting. We'll break this table.
It's true. And it's quite surprising that things like this are happening. It's
surprising.
It's not surprising.
Sorry, let me correct myself. It's not surprising that these kind of things are happening in Nigeria.
All right.
We've heard, come on, animals have eaten bags of money and sacks and trunks of money, even the one in the safe.
Termites, snakes,
Termites,
monkeys.
snakes, you know, different animals. So for it to now be given physically shouldn't be a problem, should it?
No.
Because it really, these are the kind of things we deal with in Nigeria. We are in a country
Only
where
in Nigeria.
we are poor. In terms of we are owing a ridiculous amount of money. And we keep borrowing on a daily, almost a daily basis. As at when needed, you know. You just write a budget. And the other day we were having a conversation about, isn't it high time for us to start looking inward and start reducing some of these budgets and things and looking into investigating reoccurring projects and things that governors would budget and every different agencies will budget every year, and the project is still not completed. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Enough said.
Yeah.
Glory, what did you find for us?
Mine is rather a sad one, but that leaves us with hope and just that encouragement that, you know, so many things are still possible. It's about a polio survivor, Paul Alexander, who survived polio after contracting it at the age of 6 in 1952 and spent more than 70 years relying on an iron lung. The story says he's dead. He died at the age of 78. It says, according to Daily Mail report published on Wednesday, his team confirmed his passing on Monday through a fundraiser for his health care in Dallas, Texas. However, no further details regarding his death were provided. I think there was a time which, I don't know, I can't remember the platform exactly. I saw his video, I think it was on Facebook, and just seeing this man like talking so much about hope, and he could do so many things with his mouth. He could write, do so many things. So that just, you know, gives us that feeling of like, no, all hope is not lost as long as you're still alive. Like if he can do it, if he can like go the extra mile to do things even in his condition. What about you with 2 hands, 2 legs, you can talk? Sometimes I find people that you know, it's really sad when someone has maybe a physical challenge or something, but you find some people that can actually still do something no matter their
Remarkable
yes,
people.
and still they will not still do it. Sometimes I find beggars and things like that, they are really not pushing themselves to bring out like the internal skills in them to be able to be creative and make something out of their life. So when I look at stories like this, when I look at his life and what he's left behind, it's just an encouragement to say that really no situation is that bad. As long as you're alive, you can still make something out of your life.
A good note to leave our stories on, but every time I think of the first time I encountered that iron lung, I think it was in a movie or on TV, and I just thought, you know, I mean, human beings are talented, let me just leave it at that. But today we're talking heat. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll jump right into the conversation. Please stay with us.
In today's dynamic global economy, small and medium enterprises stand as unsung hero, playing a pivotal role in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating employment opportunities for millions. Now, according to the World Bank, 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030 to absorb the growing workforce. And believe me when I tell you that the SMEs will be the major employer. My name is Oluwadamilola Ibituri, and I'm a mission to uncover and reveal the stories of incredible entrepreneurs who are changing the game in the business world. I'll be sitting down with passionate and innovative business leaders as they share their journeys, challenges, futuristic plans, and successes. SME Chats, spotlighting inspiring entrepreneurs, one episode at a time.
Thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has declared that the current extreme heat wave would last for some time. According to the Bureau, model projections indicate that the temperatures will remain high in the coming days. Air temperatures hit 41 degrees centigrade in the north and 39 degrees centigrade in the south. The implication of this is dehydration, which may result in fainting, heat rash, measles, chickenpox, weakness, fever, and dry lips. It may also cause respiratory problems, heat-related illnesses, and increased susceptibility to chronic disorders. So today we are asking, what are the sustainable health practices we can adopt for this harsh weather condition? Please let's hear what you have to say. You can send us an SMS or WhatsApp on 0818-038-4663. Heat. So my AC a few weeks ago, I was sleeping and it went, but you know when you're asleep, you're not quite sure if you're dreaming or you're awake, so I carried on sleeping. And, somehow those kind of sounds when you're asleep sort of morph into your dreams. Yeah. Then I woke up in the morning and then I was like, oh wow, what's going on? And I looked at my AC and there was ice dropping from the AC. So I had it fixed. On Sunday, again, and then I called my AC guy, and he says, madam, I travel. When are you coming back? Now weekend though. Wow. So right now, nobody can relate to today's topic more than me, because I am AC-less in the city. It is
So
a wonder.
It ices up and starts.
There's something about the condensation, and it's causing the water to ice up and all. And then, of course, I think it has some sort of mechanism that makes it trip off or something like that. Yeah. But basically, right now, I'm at the mercy of a fan. It is not funny. I have drunk. I'm a water drinker. Those that know me know that my goal every day is like 4 to 5 liters. I've lost track. In fact, at some point, I started asking myself that I think I remember seeing a video somewhere where a woman got sick from drinking too much water. So I need to calm down. Yeah. But this heat, my goodness.
It's really something. I experienced what you're experiencing a few weeks back, I think 2 weeks back. And I don't know if it has gotten hotter or any better. But yeah, my AC also iced. I don't know why it would be icing in this kind of weather. It's very strange. So there is really global warming because it seems like everything is moving in the opposite direction, like cold and hot, because it's hot weather outside and your AC is icing. But yeah, I guess there's a lot happening in the atmosphere, and that's part of it. And that also leads to like the fact that you need a lot of water. Like you said, hydration is is one of the most important things at this point, because a lot of people just faint. We don't take very good, what will I call it, care of ourselves. Like it's until, like I said earlier, until we get to a certain age and you have one pain and they tell you, it might be, then everybody starts
you behave yourself.
So everybody starts getting in shape and trying to lose weight and trying to maintain this, But I think it's important for us to, hydration is something that should be normally constant, just like you said. I try to drink as much water as I can in a day. I think I try to do about, I don't know about 4 liters, but maybe I try to do about 4 to 5 bottles, the normal 75. Yes, and if I do pass that, that's like a good, good day. But yes, and with the current weather situation, it almost seems like you have to drink water because
You do.
the moment I'm not drinking water,
You're sweating.
I feel like I'm about to pass pass out. So,
It's just how you move, and then all of a sudden it's like you lift your hand or you even think and you're sweating.
And then the sun is just too much. It gives a headache.
Yeah, and currently I'm even like, I don't know, maybe I also did not take care enough of, take cognizance of the season, because I've been having this cold for almost a week now, and like my head is literally something else. So yeah, the weather has been, like I said, at least for you it's maybe an AC problem. Mine is something which I don't even know how to fix it, because our electricity has just been fluctuating, so the AC does not like get cold properly. So it's so difficult. It's a tough time to.
There's a lot.
To be
I mean, we kind of have to process it, because the only thing I think that I'm a bit thankful for in the current weather is that it's not humid. So it's a very dry heat.
Yeah.
So if you kind of get a breeze blowing, it's not that sort of sticky type of thing. So that's, sometimes I'm going to find the positives inside all of this. So it's quite a dry heat, because I know like sometimes when it's this hot and then it's raining, it's wet, it's humid, you're just clammy all the time.
And then I think sometimes it rains in the evening.
Yeah, so it's a bit clammy.
Yesterday. Yeah,
so I think that now, at least when you open the windows, you're getting some like air coming in and it's moving. So I like to be thankful for the little things. But I understand that our guest is ready to join us. So Dr. Frederick Nubokai is a licensed medical practitioner, public health advocate, presenter, and content creator. He is currently working as company doctor for AIM Group of Companies, and he'll be joining us today to talk about the topic. But before we bring in our guest, so we've talked about drinking water. What else are you guys doing to manage the heat?
For me, it still boils down more to like drinking water and having the house ventilated enough, even aside the AC. So I just like during the weekends just open up all the windows.
Yeah.
Efficiently.
Air out the house.
Air out the house.
That's a good one.
That's just how I try to like manage it. And for me too, I don't like on a normal day, like I don't like exposing myself a lot to maybe sun radiation. I also have my sunscreen on because of things like skin cancer, all those things like that. So yeah, that's how I've been able to manage it. And I also know that a lot of things get quite dusty even within the house. So I try to also dust around just to keep
to help with allergies and things. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So Dr. Frederick, I don't know if you can hear us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. We're excited to have you on the show today. If you've been listening to our conversation, we're all struggling. Everybody here has their own story, whether it's a broken down AC, we're literally struggling in this weather. And I know we've been this is the tail end of the dry season. And I think it was about a month ago, very early in the morning, I got to work and I got out of the car and it felt like we were in full-blown harmattan. And I was sort of wondering, both the smell, the fog, everything, right? Which I kind of missed. I don't think we really had harmattan in December. And there's been like one of those sort of communique type things floating around how, Lagos State said there's a heat wave. The current fog is not, it's air pollution. So what are the real drivers for this current heat wave that we're experiencing now at the moment? And how are you managing your health in these current circumstances?
Okay. Thank you once again for having me. Good evening to everyone in the studio.
Good evening.
So I think what is happening right now is that we are facing the consequences of climate change. They've been having this discussion a long time ago talking about climate change, and we never understood what it meant. But right now, we are seeing some of the consequences of climate change, and we pray that it doesn't get worse. So for me personally, what do I do to help myself this period? Number one, I take water, just like somebody was mentioning in the studio. But there's something I also want to address as we discuss tonight is the area of fluid overload. Please, we should stop getting term fluid overload, it could make you lose your life. Yes, it happens, but it is extremely rare. I repeat again, it's very, very rare for somebody to drink water and suddenly the person dies. There was a post about that a few months ago, and there was panic. For everyone going through this harsh weather, we are advised to take water. Normally, you need about 1.5 to 3 liters of water in a day. But with this weather condition, you definitely need more than that. Number one, to avoid kidney stones, to avoid heat stroke, to avoid constipations, to avoid frequent headaches, you need to get yourself well hydrated. And then there is a catch. How do you know that you are well hydrated? You can check the color of your urine. If your urine is quite very dark, you should know that you're not well hydrated. Your urine is not even supposed to get very white. At least it should be like amber color, a little bit yellow, but not very white. So everybody's encouraged to take at least 1.5 liters, and then depending on what you do, where you walk, you might need to take more than that. Then there is something I do again that has been helping me for quite a while, and that is fruit intake. I try to take either orange, pineapple, or watermelon because of the vitamin C content in these fruits. They help you manage whatever stress your body will be going through this period. What I do again is that I try to avoid overcrowded spaces. So if you don't need to be in a place at this point in time, what you should do is avoid that gathering. And then for those who are at home, try to take frequent showers. These are a few tips that can help you.
Thank you, Dr. Frederick. I just want to ask some further questions. I know that you've mentioned quite a lot of tips that we can go by, but I would like to zone in on or zoom in on clothing. So with the weather, yes, you hydrate on the inside, but on the outside, you know, Nigeria is a place where you can walk on the streets and you see somebody in this weather wearing a leather jacket. You see someone on the streets wearing like a leather
knee-high boots,
like knee-high boots, leather jacket, sweating, no stockings, just, you know, some. So I would like your advice on clothing for this typical weather. I think in Nigeria we've gotten used to wearing light clothing, but with this particular weather, we're not trying to go naked, yeah? But is there like an item of clothing, some specific fabric we should be looking at, or wear a bit more to help with to ease off the heat?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Very important. Now, the truth is that I don't know in this part of the world, the people who are inclined to fashion and the type of wear you put on, depending on the weather, I think there are very few. Most times, all we care about is I put this on and I go out. But I think we need to teach our people that with this weather condition, what you should be putting on should be, number one, clothes that are not tight, number one, loose fitted clothing. Number two, avoid heavy materials. Your, what do they call them, the leather jackets and the rest. You could put on something like cottons, but I know that sometimes these cotton materials can be expensive. So we are advised to put on things that are free. Putting on suits this period, I don't think it's wise. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We're all just thinking about the bankers walking around.
Yeah. I'm thinking about me too.
Thank you. Putting on suits in this period, unless you are working in a place that is extremely cold, I don't think it's wise. You know, moving around the streets of Lagos, you see corporate workers putting on suits. You're just punishing yourself. I think HR, top management officials should be able to adjust to the workplace dress in this period and allow the staff put on things that will not be quite heavy on the skin for them.
That's a very valid point. I think from a health and safety perspective at work, I'm not sure that a lot of HR in companies think about these things, but that's such I remember when I was abroad, I used to wonder how people used to wear full suit, full makeup and everything. And then I got to Lagos and I was like, oh, that's how you do it. I've learned.
So, Frederick, I would like to find out. So I was going through an article which says there are some diseases that are more prevalent during when we are in seasons like this. For example, we have cholera and all of that. Can you educate us more on that? Why is it like during this season you have breakout of is it epidemics or contagious diseases generally? I think this is, for example, we have we have also things like Lassa fever. Is it something that the weather has an impact on some of these microorganisms, meningitis and all of that? Can you just educate us more about that?
Okay, thank you very much. So you asked, this question is quite very large, but let's try to summarize it. So what happens is that there are certain diseases that occur during certain seasons, and one of the reasons is the air, the dry air. We notice that most viral infections thrive more with some of these viral infections thrive more with the dry air. Number one, you have allergies that occur, your cough, your catarrh, headaches. Then you mentioned Lassa fever. The thing about Lassa fever is that the causative agents, the rats that transmit this virus, they are very active during the dry season. They go around more in the dry season because we notice that most people burn the farms, the bushes. So they drive these rats out of the bush into the homes, and thereby these rats contaminate the food with their feces that contains the virus. So that is one reason why you have the spread of Lassa fever, most especially during the dry season. And then for cholera, what really happens is contamination of water sources. You have people who defecate in streams, in rivers, this open defecation, and sometimes people also don't take care of what they put into their system. So these are some of the reasons why we have these conditions during the dry season. And again, because of this part of the world where we find ourselves, some of our people are not conscious.
I think we may have to come back to Dr. Frederick here, but I think this is a good time for us to take a break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
People commit suicide for many reasons. It could be mental health, bullying, abuse, money problem, housing problems, addiction, hopelessness, feeling worthless, depression, and many more. But I don't feel like that is enough reason for you to say, you know, it's like, I am going to take my own life. Do you know what it is for you to take your own life? And it's not as if like you're taking your own life, you know, going to a better place. I mean, like, it doesn't get better from there either. So obviously, I mean, like she said, like, to them, it may seem justifiable, but in my opinion, like, there's nothing that should justify such an act.
Right.
Nigeria is too underdeveloped to even start with something so fragile as so fragile to mental health, because even our elders or our leaders don't even believe in mental health. So what exactly are they supposed to help with? What exactly are they supposed to help it with? Because it's in the sense of, there's nothing wrong with you, you're healed with the blood of Jesus. But like,
because you are too religionic.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's a situation is, now, the thing about it is that there's always like, I don't think Nigeria is probably one of the most heavy, like, religion country in the world.
We carry up our head, though.
Yes, we do, but like,
more
as we say, like, we're inside.
Side.
If you're inside a box, you can't see what's going outside. Okay. I'm still very much heavy on that. But like, at the end of the day, Nigeria is too underdeveloped to start talking about psychiatry. Like, even the education, let's even start from education. What education or what job, or there's just not anything to kind of like hold that in place. By the end of the day, heavy on community and your friends and like people that you build around yourself.
So if you've just tuned in, we're discussing sustainable health practices for the current weather condition with Dr. Frederick Onubwe. Please let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us a SMS or WhatsApp message to 0818-038-4663. Our phone line is also now open, and you can call us on 0702 500-7749. Please, when you do call us, remember to turn down the volume of the TV set so we can hear you and have a great conversation. So, before Dr. Frederick, or earlier when he was speaking before the break, I like where we sort of touched on the outfits that people need to be wearing, because I think at this point in time, lighter fabrics, not the heavy suit, tie, all of those, which you still see people wearing. Like you're in an AC car, you're wearing light clothing, and you're literally like, I'm breathless. And then you see somebody who's fully suited and both booted, and he's jumping bus. And I'm just thinking to myself, this guy is halfway away from heat stroke. I mean, it's just, people literally must be dropping, whenever I see it, I kind of wonder how everything is sort of melding together and what's moving around under that outfit. But, if we come away from the clothing, I think the current weather as well, what I wanted to ask Dr. Frederick was around exercising, because you know how exercising is still good for you, but at this current point in time, if you are not in an AC gym, how can you still sort of exercise outside or outdoors? In fact, we should ask NJ, how are you playing tennis at the moment?
Also, I play in the evenings most times. But then, coincidentally, I tried on Sunday, playing in the sun after church. And I must say, it was a horrible experience. It was so hot, I was bleeding, not blood. I was bleeding as in sweat. I was bleeding it was bleeding into my eye.
Into your eye, exactly.
And that had some salty, so it was bleeding into my eye. So constantly, I had to do a wipe down every how many minutes. I was, hands, everything was, even though I was wearing guards, but still.
Makes you appreciate the prize money for tennis players who play in the heat of the summer and the sun.
I do appreciate, even though I don't get none.
But I understand that Dr. Frederick is back with us. So, Dr. Frederick, can you hear us? Hi, Dr. Frederick. I really wanted to hear his answer to this to this question.
Which one, the exercise?
Hi, Dr. Frederick, can you hear us? Oh, wow. Network will just cause all sorts of issues. But yeah, the ability to move around effectively in this heat, even at work, just going up and down the stairs. Yeah, like this is an air-conditioned building, right? But you can feel it. I wonder, Glory, if you are a fruit eater, because when Dr. Frederick was talking about eating, fruits with high water content,
orange,
I thought to myself, I've been munching down on watermelon a lot lately.
I will say I bless God that I learned that earlier on. So I'm a fruit eater. I don't go, I think the highest I've gone without eating fruit is one day, and that's been like almost 2 years now. I take fruit every day.
Wow.
I have some currently, so maybe after the show. I think, and
that's why she's so small.
It's digesting.
So yes. So even aside like the weather, generally for the health, I felt when I started doing this, I've been doing this for about 3 years now. There's been like great changes, even on how my skin is and how I feel inside and everything. And also, I just even noticed like it helps me, especially during this the season we are now, especially taking water too. I don't take as much as 4 because the hassle of having to go out all the time to go and use yourself is not something I can deal with like that. But yeah, I take fruits a lot, and especially like watermelon is one of my favorites. I take that, oranges, and all of it. So it also helps. I think like it's helped me too. Like during this weather condition, I feel refreshed somehow, right? So yeah.
So I was going to talk about skin because, when we were talking earlier, we also talked about sunscreen, and we had a guest. I was trying to remember her name. It will come to me. She has a skincare brand. And when she came on the show, we were talking about sunscreen, and she sort of had a opinion around the fact that we're black. You know, everywhere you look on social media now, so if you don't wear sunscreen, you're going to be wrinkled, you're going to, like, everybody's threatening you. I mean, bear in mind that the dollar rate sunscreen too has, do you get what I mean? So you're literally trying to do the best you can in terms of protecting your skin. But her argument at the time was that we are black, we have melanin. The guys who are selling plantain chips and running around on the road, they're not wearing sunscreen.
And you can see the effect on their body. You know, when you look at them, you know that's not how they're supposed to look. There's actually sunburn. You can feel it. You can not feel it. You can see it actually. So, yeah, I know sometimes some of these things is quite pricey, especially when we talk about sunscreen, because most of it I think is imported. But when you're putting different, so I've been into skincare personally, not like an expert, like for some time now. I feel like all of this comes together. So you must not necessarily start with sunscreen, but if you're like conscious about the amount of water you take, taking fruits and all of that, and using your normal body lotion, you know, it still helps the skin, you know. Then gradually you can now start like maybe using some amount. So there are different levels to it. There are some expensive sunscreen. There are some that are quite affordable, and you can just manage some of these things. But really, saying that we are melanin, we are black, no, it does, because I am a witness. I think there was a time which, like, you could see my body, like, you know, I needed help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's totally different. And all of these are the things that have been working together to make it better. So it does work, whether you're black or something. If you have the opportunity to take care of your skin through all these little things, especially in the weather condition now, like, once you're exposed to this, it's so hot outside. The sun rays, like, I don't even know how people are able to manage. It's so uncomfortable. Right. So, yeah, if you have the opportunity to be able to do some of these things, you should be able to do it to protect your skin.
I think Dr. Frederick is back now. Perhaps he can come in and give us his medical view on sunscreen. Hi, Dr. Frederick.
Hello.
Hi,
Sorry
welcome
for
back.
the breakup.
Not a problem, not a problem. Great to have you back. So we were just talking about sunscreen. And, you know, the argument that we have melanin because we're in this, you know, in the heat, in the sun, we were created for this part of the world. What are your thoughts around the need for sunscreen, even though we are darker skinned?
Beyond any reasonable doubt, I think we need sunscreens right now because we're having intensive ultraviolet rays. Therefore, if you can afford it, you understand, because it's quite difficult for a lot of Nigerians to talk about sunscreen. When you tell them to take care of themselves, they tell you that I have not eaten. Do you want me to start thinking about sunscreens and the rest? But it's important because it protects your skin from skin burns, hyperpigmentation, skin cancers, and a whole lot. And even aging, it prevents your skin from wrinkling. So if you can afford a sunscreen at this period of time, I think you should make good use of it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. The other question that I wanted to also ask is, when thinking about sort of the regular practices that we do, are there any, would I say, supplements? I know we get vitamin D direct from the sun exposure, but are there any supplements that, you know, people can be looking to take at this point in time that will actually help you cope with the heat, you know, any better?
Basically, yeah, okay, there are supplements, but the supplements you would need this period of time would be those that have vitamin C and maybe vitamin B. Well, talking about supplements, we are careful because there's a wide range of abuse of supplements. Everybody just believes that I must take supplements. Sometimes your diet, your lifestyle, and your fruit and vegetable intake will be all that you need. But if you need something extra, then things like supplements that contain vitamin C and the right doses of other vitamins. I'm careful mentioning them on live program. You understand? Because if you mention them right now, everybody goes to the pharmacy and tell you that, please give me this supplement that contains this, and this. So we are careful. But basically, yes, vitamin C will be good for you. Vitamin B will be good for you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Dr. Frederick, I have one final question for you. So I know, you know, based on your experience, I just want to ask that what are the current initiatives that are being undertaken by healthcare facilities in this current situation to help either create awareness, or what are healthcare facilities doing at this moment with the current situation of the weather, or what should they be doing?
Okay, you asked the right question. Maybe like towards the end, what should they be doing? I think what we need to be doing right now, we need more awareness. Our people are not really informed, honestly. We are not also making good use of social media, TV programs, radio programs. National Orientation Agency should wake up and ensure that Nigerians are informed in different dialects. You understand? Um, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and other um, languages. We should ensure that our people know what to do in this period of time. We find out that most Nigerians are not even thinking about their health. All they care about is what I would eat. So most Nigerians don't even have the basic HMO, or what we call the NHIS. And when emergency arises, for whatever reason, they find it difficult to access healthcare. So our people need at least a basic level of information concerning their health, and we are doing our best using every source of media, radio, social media, to ensure that we pass the information across to Nigerians.
Okay, thank you so much for that question, for that answer. I think you shed a lot of light to it. So we have a comment from our regular Waze fan.
Daniel Illa?
Yes. Who else? Who else will grace us? I'm so sorry. My phone is having a bad day. 1 second.
So whilst you're trying to find the comment, it'd be good to hear your final thoughts, Dr. Frederick, on really this is as a public health advocate, this is a public health issue. Like you said, we need more awareness for Nigerians. What would be your final thoughts around how we can have sustainable practices? Because it's really about sustainability, you know. Given the current economic situation, the basic things that people can do, that everybody can sort of key in, that we can do sustainably in this current weather condition.
Okay. What we need right now, we need, it's quite difficult in this part of the world. I'm hoping that the responsible agencies and government bodies would wake up. We need more investment, we need more education, we need more awareness, we need more funding, we need more health workers. We also need media practitioners just like you to key into this and encourage our people to take their health seriously. Most times when we talk like this, people tend to blame the government, but you can't wait for the government to do everything for you. You need to play your own part, and hoping and praying that one day we'll get what we need. So right now, because of the weather condition, everybody should take water, ensure that you shower regularly, avoid smoking and alcohol, caffeine intake, energy drinks this period. They will do you more harm than good. And then speak with a medical professional if you have any health condition. I think this will be the best in this period of time.
Excellent. Thank you so much for those tips. It was great to have you on the show. We hope that at some time in the future you'll join us on in the studio physically. We have a comment, so
yes.
if you want to take that.
Good evening, my dear beautiful sisters of What Are You Saying? #Ways sustainable health practices for weather conditions. You beautiful sisters are just on point, no be lie. The weather is extremely hot and unbearable. These women in powder, how do they cope with the clothes they wear? Me personally, I do not calculate the liters of water I drink. I just drink water and drink water as I like. God will help us all to overcome this hot weather and survive dehydration. I do not know if I am wrong or right. Maybe someone entered hellfire and forgot to lock the door. That is why we are suffering under these conditions. So nice to have my beautiful sisters, Sister Uti, Glory, and Wajiaga back. It has been a while. My name is Daniel Ilo, Ways regular fan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel. As always, we like to educate our guests, so we have a quick video that we're going to play that has some additional tips for you in this hot weather.
Extreme heat waves all around the world, from Japan to the UK, in China, and in Italy. The mercury is forecast to keep rising, and this could have an impact on your health, resulting in illnesses like heat stroke, heat cramps, and heat exhaustion. Here are 5 ways you can protect yourself and beat the heat. 1. Skip the caffeine and alcohol, as these can have dehydrating effects. Instead, reach for water. The CDC suggests not waiting until you're thirsty to drink and drinking more water than usual on days that are hot. 2. Know when to head outside. If you have to go outdoors, stay in the shade between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. when the sun's UV rays are the strongest. Also limit physical activities to cooler parts of the day, like in the early mornings or evenings. 3. Dress for the weather. That means wearing a hat, putting on sunscreen, and choosing clothes that are light and loose-fitting. 4. Eat the right type of food. The British Red Cross says having light meals can help in a heat wave. Foods that are high in water content, like strawberries, cucumbers, celery, and lettuce, can also help you stay hydrated. 5. Cool your home. Block out windows exposed to direct sunlight during the day. If the air is cooler at night, open the windows to get airflow through your home, which could help you get a more restful sleep.
So, I mean, ladies, I think we've had a good conversation. That video just sort of wraps it up really nicely, summarizes everything that we have said. So we hope that our viewers are essentially able to stay safe even whilst the weather is hot. So thank you for joining me on set, ladies. It's been a great conversation. Before we go, please follow us on Instagram at Wayshow Africa and Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements, and remember to like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch us and follow us. Don't watch Ways alone. If you missed our quote, here it is again today. I don't want to be an alarmist, but I have often theorized that there is a significant level of heat wave in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, which could lead to dire or worsen public health issues. So we'll see you again tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Bye-bye.